Hey guys, Crystal Thompson here with the Unity Stamp Company project. I can't wait to show you. So Unity has just released the kit, Whit's kit. So this is Whitney Magnuson's kit. This is an absolutely beautiful kit. I know it's been in the works for a couple years, so I'm really excited to be presenting it here for you. Let me show you what it is. It's a membership prize. So you get it for $40 and all this wonderful stuff's included. And I'm going to show you what's included. So you get the full-size snowy winter greetings and a super pretty red rubber. You know it's going to last for the next 80 years and pass it on to your kids. And it comes with beautiful stamps, and I can't wait to show you what we're making with these guys. Then also included is the exclusive snowy winter greetings. You will not be able to get this anywhere. This is exclusive to Unity Stamp Company, and you get an assortment of beautiful paper. It's super high quality. It's thick, you know, it's not anything flimsy, and it has very pretty designs, and I love how all the color coordination of it is going to match beautifully. Next, it comes with the Wow Embossing Powder. This is a metallic gold sparkle. And let me show you what this looks like. This is going to be super fun. I can't wait to use it. And it's just going to match so nicely with this kit, don't you think? Along with that, it comes with a full roll of this beautiful light blue organza ribbon. It's 3/8 of an inch. You get 25 yards of this. So you're not getting just a little strip. It's a full 25 yards. So you know you're going to have lots and lots left over for your future card making. Then for embellishments, of course, we have this beautiful rhinestones. They're absolutely, you have variations in sizes. So you can see small, medium, a larger, and then extra large. And of course, they do match everything else in the kit. So there's been a lot of thought and process to this. And I know that myself and maybe most crafters need some basic dies. And so Whitney has really thought about what's going to be included. And so she's added these really fun stitch border dies from Lawn Fawn. And I love when companies help each other out. And you know, Unity doesn't have dies at this moment, so we're going to be using some of these Lawn Fawn. You know you're getting quality when you get Lawn Fawn products. Last but not least, you get 10 A2 card bases. These are 5 craft, 5 white. And let me show you this cardstock. It's not cheap cardstock. This is really nice, high quality, that's going to hold up to make your cards. And guys, I am so excited to be here with this newest card making kit from Whitney, and I can't wait to show what you're going to be making. You're going to get lots of inspiration. You're getting an amazing value. So you're looking at what, $67 or so for this kit, and you're getting it for 40 bucks. And you know that stamp set is $28 in itself. So guys, I can't wait to start. Be sure to stick around for some inspiration on what's going on with the newest January 2020 Whit's kit. All right, we're going to begin with our first cards. Let me show you what we're going to be using out of the Whit's kit. This is going to be the pattern paper, and I've trimmed it to fit just 1/4 of an inch matted on each side. And then I have that white cardstock included in the kit. So it's going to be super nice. Also, we're going to be using the beautiful snowy winter greetings. So I'm using that circle, and I've added those 4 snowflakes, and we're going to stamp that whole thing right on the center. And then for our sentiment, we're using the thank you again from the same snowy winter greetings. And we're going to be using the included metallic gold sparkle embossing powder, and it's just going to be super nice, and it's going to match really nicely. And then stuff that is not included in the kit but you're going to need is basic supplies. You're going to need some foam, and I am using a foam sheet for the back of this pattern paper. You're going to need some Tombow monoadhesive roller or whatever it is, your ATG, whatever it is that you're using. And then of course you need some embossing ink and your gun. So let's get started. We are going to begin with the sentiment. So I have my embossing ink ready to go. I'm going to ink up that thank you, and I have that piece of craft cardstock. So I'm going to just stamp kind of at the bottom, trying to do my best to get a solid and smooth finish here. So we're going to go, it's a beautiful font. So we're going to come back in with a piece of scrap paper, and we're going to grab that gold. And we're going to just put it over, and then we're going to set it aside, but that way it's ready to go, and then we can heat set it. So we're going to set that aside, and then we'll trim it when we're ready to use that. We're going to set this over here, and then we're going to do the heat embossing of our pattern paper. So again, I have the circle and the snowflakes from the Snowy Winter Greetings. And I feel like this is such a beautiful stamp set and a beautiful way to mass produce some cards, especially right after the holidays. You know, you have that huge thank you list, and what better than to send some handmade cards. So I'm just checking that I really do have the whole thing covered. We're going to do it right on the center. Just hold down for a second, and then we're going to lift up. We're going to bring this back, and then we're just going to cover that embossing. Make sure that we get the whole thing. And then once you're done with that, we're going to go ahead and heat set it. And you want to be sure that you don't overheat set glitter embossing powder, because it does tend to kind of disappear, but you will see the color change when you have fully cooked it, so to speak. And again, it's just a very easy way to add some glimmer and glamour to your cards, and I'm really loving that Whit included this in the kit. You see that color change? All right, I would say this is ready to go. We're going to go ahead and trim the edge of this and just create a strip, and then we're going to come back to put our card together. Okay, so it's fully heat set, and I have trimmed my thank you, and I've added a little bit of foam in the back. So we're going to begin with the assembly of our card. So we have that white cardstock included in the kit. I'm going to bring it in. Now we're going to add that sided adhesive. So my foam adhesive, again, I get it from the dollar store or Walmart, and it just has one-sided adhesive. So what we're going to do, we're going to flip this over. We're going to grab our Tombow, and you can use foam rollers, such as a foam roller just as this. It just makes it easier when you're using a sheet when you're making such as the mat as this. It just makes it look a lot cleaner. It gives you an even finish in the levelness of your card. So we're going to remove that backing. We're going to stick this right there, and then so that Tombow is really going to stick to the foam, and then this can go directly on our card base. And I'm going to do my best to get it centered and get this perfectly matted. Okay, and now you have that mat. Now we're going to come in with our thank you, and then we're going to add it right on that center of that circle, and that would be in the center of the card. And then you have your first clean and simple card using the beautiful pattern paper and the sentiments. All right, for our next card, we're going to be doing some ink blending. So let me show you what we're using out of Whit's kit. We're going to be using the beautiful embellishments with the little crystals. These are going to work really nicely. Then we're going to be using the Snowy Winter Greetings. And we're going to be using the snowflakes, and we're going to do warm wishes. So I have already put that on my acrylic block. You're also going to be needing the Wow glitter embossing powder included in the kit. Then of course you need a set of ink blending brushes and ink, and I'm using aquatini, which is a teal. We got purple and pink, and so let's get started. So for our cardstock, I have trimmed it up to where it looks kind of like a banner. So this is going to be up at the top. We're going to be doing an ombre effect, and then we're going to stamp our beautiful snowflakes, and then with the craft cardstock, we're going to do the sentiment right in the center, and then we're going to embellish with our embellishments. So I'm going to remove everything to the side, make sure that I don't get anything full of my ink, and I have protected my surface with a piece of printer paper. So we are going to begin with this pink, and my thought process behind this is that it would just be a really soft ink blending, and that it would just really make that gold stand out, but again, not take away from it. So being sure that the main color was down here at the bottom of the card, and then blending out to the top. and it would just make it look super, super clean and pretty. And so I'm gonna clean out the end of my brush by ink blending this top part of it. And that way it has a really nice faded effect. And honestly, all it's doing is just blending. So I'm totally loving Whit's kit. I think there's so many endless possibilities and not enough time to film all the tutorials, right? So be sure to let me know if you got the kit, what your thoughts are on it. You know, I think this is going to be one of the best sellers for Unity just because it is so, so good. All right, we're going to move on to this purple. I'm going to ink out my ink blender or my brush again. And I'm going to start at the bottom with a very, very light, dark, heavy hand. And then I'm going to move up with a heavier hand up to the top and blending those purples. And if you see that you have kind of where you went with the brush, all you have to do is come in with a little bit of a lighter hand and just add more color to it, guys. And thankfully, we're going to be doing the stamping of the snowflakes on the top, so there's not too much to worry about on this. All right. I feel like ink blending is just one of the easiest and go-to things to do when doing some card making. Okay, next we're going to do to aquatini, which is this teal. And you can use whatever ink you got. I just felt like these were easily available. So any ink you got will work, even Distress Oxides. So we're going to do this very, very beautiful shade. And I love the color that it creates when you blend it with that pink. And then I'm going to add it up here, and I'm going to bring it off to the edge. And we're just going to continue that on. And feel free to darken up. I'm pretty happy with this. I feel like I need to add just a little more up here. So I'm going to add the darker, like kind of clean off my brush. And then I'm going to come back up. And it's not a galaxy card. I'm feeling inspired by a wintry, you know, kind of frozen sky look-alike color combo, and that the color combos that Whit included in this kit are just so pretty. I want to just keep blending. So once this is completely dry, you do want to grab your embossing buddy or your cornstarch, depending on what you're using and brand. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to remove all that stuff. Okay, and I have my embossing buddy. So mine's pretty beat up at the end. So I just like to add a little bit of that cornstarch and then kind of just brush it along. And you can always clean it off. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside. All right, now we're gonna set this whole thing aside and bring in our heat embossing supplies. So for heat embossing supplies, we have that Wow Beautiful gold embossing powder. It's so shimmery, and I feel like the base is a gold base as well. So it's just that adds to that gold. You kind of don't lose it with just gold glitter, if that makes any sense. I have my watermark ink, and let me bring in all my snowflakes. I didn't have enough acrylic blocks for all my snowflakes, so we're just going to have to do a little switcheroo here, but we're going to begin with the largest snowflakes of the set. So we're going to ink up with that clear ink, and I'm going to do 2, and then I'm going to grab the next one. Okay, kind of lost that there. And so I'm lifting it up so you guys can see on the camera that it kind of watermarks it, which is the whole point of this. I'm going to bring in my cardstock and add the powder on it. There you go. And so then I'm going to remove that and continue stamping, but I didn't want my ink to dry up, so this is why I do the heat powder or the embossing powder and then continue on. Okay, and we're going to use the smaller one on the huge acrylic block And we're just going to fill in. And really, you can see how fast this is going. So before that dries, bring it back in. And you could heat set as you add them, but I really don't want to, because I was telling you that when you do some heat embossing, if you add too much heat, that glitter kind of overcooks and dissipates. And so that is why I'm not heat embossing as I go. So I'm going to continue, bring in my next snowflake. And I love all the variations of snowflakes added into this kit. And I really don't want to add any more up to the height of it. So I'm just filling in where I can. All right, look how pretty that is. So we're going to grab our heat embossing, and I'm going to add one little guy right there. It looks a little bit empty in my opinion. Okay. Okay. All right, we're going to set this aside so we don't cook our embossing powder. Cover that up, and now we're going to heat set. There you have it. Look how pretty. That's going to look super, super nice when we put it on our white cardstock. But before we go away and put everything away, we are going to stamp our sentiments. So we're going to bring back that craft cardstock. And then I have my warm wishes ready to go. And so I've lined them up. And you can be super, super brave and stamp each word individually, but I have tried my best to really line those stamps up so it's one continuous word, and I'm really happy about that. And then we're going to bring this back, and we're going to heat emboss this. Then we're going to trim it, and we're going to start putting our card together. All right, so we are ready to put this together. So let me show you. I've added adhesive to the back of this, and just flat adhesive. We're going to mount this together. So we are going to line up those tops, make sure that that top of the card base and the card pan are completely even, and then making sure that the sides are even, and then it's all going to fall into place. Now you have this beautiful ribbon-like, banner-like card. Next, we're going to add our strip. So I have that warm wishes. We're actually going to add it right on the edge. So I have some foam adhesive on the back, and we're just kind of going to strap that there. And we're going to flip this over, and we're going to trim any of the excess foam, and using the straight edge of the card to make sure that's nice and straight. And look how pretty that is. But last and not least, we're going to be using the embellishments included in Whit's kit. So we are going to be using some aqua mono liquid glue. It dries clear, and we're going to add them right where it's kind of like a balding, I would say, like there's not anything there. And then bring in your jewel picker or with your hands, such as I'm doing, and we're going to add these beautiful transparent gems. And I'm so glad that Whitney thought about adding some gems. I feel like sometimes just a little bit of embellishment is all it's needed to finish up a project. And certainly that's the case here. Guys, this does it for me. I'm going to finish adding this last embellishment. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm making these two super, super easy cards using Whit's kit from Unity Stamp Company. This is the January 2020. And if they sell out, you can still purchase the stamp set by itself. Guys, that's it. Be sure to click subscribe by pressing on the picture. And then I have a new video coming up for you right on the side. Have an amazing day.